Hi, my name is Khatri Khazarin. In this presentation, I will explain how rocks change through the rock cycle and describe several geological structures such as faults, folds, boudinage, and shear zones. I'll also explain whether they form under brittle or ductile conditions and what type of stress causes the creation of these rocks. Now for the faults, which are fractures in rocks where movement happened, and they develop when stress causes rocks to break. So for the first one, it's an example of reverse faults, and they're created by compression, which occurs when rocks are pushed towards one another. And this causes the hanging wall to move upwards in comparison to the footwall. And this is formed under brittle conditions because the rocks fracture or break instead of bending. And then the normal faults form when tension pulls the rocks apart instead of pushing them together. So in this case, it's also brittle because they break instead of bending, but the hanging wall in comparison to the footwall moves downwards. And then for the strike slip fault, they're produced by shear stress, and instead of moving horizontally like these ones do, like it goes that way and down, these ones move vertically. And this type of fault also forms under brittle conditions because the rocks break as they move. So for the shear zone feature, this represented by this diagram, it forms as a result of shear stress, and it's also formed under ductile conditions. Rather than breaking apart like a strike slip fault, the rocks are gradually deformed and flow past one another. This type of deformation occurs under ductile conditions, like I just said, and folds, boudinage, and shear zones commonly form in the environment where temperatures and pressures are high, and these are the same conditions that often lead to the formation of metaformic rock, like we talked about in the very first page. In conclusion, faults are geological structures that form under brittle conditions, while folds, boudinage, and shear stress are structures that form under ductile conditions. And these are examples of how rocks are formed, and they all have similarities and differences. This is the end. Thank you.